Week series, team 3. On this week's demo.
Team series. This is a week.
Team series, week 3. On this week's demo, we have Jittery Jackson and Blondie Ben.
We've got handstand walks, burpee box jump overs, bar muscle ups, chest to bars, overhead walking lunge, and rowing.
Oh my.
We release these workouts right here on YouTube every Thursday at
1 p.m.
Join our entire community to practice the skill of competing.
Use the next 2 days to plan a strategy, grab some friends, and throw down on Saturday.
See where you stack up each week on our Throwdown leaderboard. It's free to sign up. Go to trainingthinktank.com/throwdown.
This week's throwdown is 6 alternating rounds, or 3 each, of 15-foot handstand walk, 6 burpee box jump overs, 15-foot handstand walk, 6 bar muscle ups, 15-foot handstand walk. Tag your partner. You're going to do 3 rounds each, straight into 4 alternating rounds of 12 chest to bars, 45-foot one-arm dumbbell overhead walking lunge, 20 cal row, 16 cals for girls. Tag your partner in, so you guys are doing 2 rounds each.
I hope that's on the board so you guys understand. Let's go out to the floor to see the movement standards.
Are you gonna teleport?
All right, the start of this workout is 6 alternating rounds, 3 rounds each. For the setup, you're gonna have 15 feet marked off and you're gonna start away from the rig. 3, 2, 1, go. The first partner will run down, turn around, and then kick up for his 15 or her 15-foot handstand walk on this side. Once they complete 15 feet, they'll do 6 burpee box jump overs, chest and thighs touch the ground. You can jump up any way that you'd like. Once you finish 6, you'll come back behind the line, hands start behind the line, 15-foot handstand walk. Once you complete that, there will be 6 bar muscle ups. Once you do your 6 bar muscle ups, you'll do 1 more 15-foot handstand walk. And then this is the big part, you must make sure that you tag your partner for them to go. The partner must run all the way down and start at the same spot. They will kick up, hands behind the line for their 15 feet. You'll do that for 6 total rounds. Part 2 of this workout is 4 alternating rounds. So as soon as you finish your 6 alternating rounds, you'll start part 2. So partner number 1 will run down and do his 12 chest to bar pull-ups. As soon as partner 1 finishes their 12 chest to bar pull-ups, they will grab the dumbbell, and it is a 45-foot single arm overhead dumbbell walking lunge. So that is down, back, and then down to back to where your partner is to finish. As soon as they finish the 45-foot lunge, wait a second, you're not Max. What's going on? They'll do a 20 cal row for the men, 16 cal row for the ladies. As soon as they finish the 20 or 16 cals, they may tag their partner. Their partner will then run with the dumbbell back to the starting line, do their 12 chest to bars, and do the rest of their round for 4 alternating rounds.
I'm really glad I just cut that dirty man bun off my head from the alternate universe.
You looked way better with it.
This week's demo athletes are Ben and Jackson. Ben is a really interesting athlete, over 30, qualified for sanctionals, overcome some really difficult health stuff to still be really fit. I couldn't get those words out. Jackson, a much younger athlete, really powerful. I don't know where he finishes overall in the open, but I do know that he cleans over 350 and he's a really powerful ex-gymnast. What else we got, Brandon?
This is the last week of the team series, so make sure that you put your scores in. Yeah, really sad about that. But because of that, that means we're starting a new cycle in the design. That's our online training program. We have laid out an entire year for you guys now that we know that the Open is shifting to February. So we have some fun tests coming up. Check it out, trainingthinktank.com/DSGN.
Or if you want to know exactly the details of that cycle, you could head to YouTube, where Brandon talks about the CrossFit path, I talk about the engine path, Mike talks about the strength path. So much training, so many paths.
We asked Ben and Jackson for strategies. They didn't give us strategies, but they gave us something.
I like to go fast. Here. Yeah. I like to go fast. I'm probably going to go singles on everything, but just fast singles.
Fast and unbroken. No rest. Fast and unbroken.
I like espresso martinis with my buddy Jeff, too. Thank you. It's fast.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for that very, very detailed strategy.
Ben told me that he expects us to make fun of him a lot to get back at him for, I'm not sure what.
For that? All right.
That was a fast start.
Yeah.
So you go, I go rounds like this. I mean, they were joking, but there really isn't.
Jackson almost ate it.
Easy
There
there,
really
cowboy.
isn't if you can do all the movements unbroken, you need to go unbroken as fast as you can.
Yeah, Mia, you talked about this in the synchro workout. That if you're on a team, it's more about like actually syncing the movements up and not getting any no reps. So it's less about movement speed. Whereas you go, I go workouts on team, it is about movement speed. How fast can you get your round done so that you can reduce the time?
Yeah, I think also too, just little setup things that you can do. Like I saw some teams, if you have a guy-girl team, if you forget to lay down the box from 30 to 24, like that can cost you a couple seconds, or bringing the dumbbell back or getting the rower set up. Like there's a bunch of little things that you can do to save time in this style of workout outside of movement speed.
Yeah, for sure.
Tag.
That was a really good first round by Jackson. I think that you notice when he transitioned basically from one thing to the next, it was right into it. So that's one of the things, if you're trying to be a competitive team on a workout like this, how fast it is, there are no transitional breaks.
Yeah, this is the type of, you can see just the level of urgency and speed that Ben's bringing here. Like this is the type of intensity that you need if you're on a 2-person team or a 4-person team where it's I go, you go. This is what like the winning speed is going to be like on a regular basis.
I really liked how Jackson did his bar muscle up. So Ben's doing a little bit different where he's kind of bending his arms, but Jackson basically was doing like an uprise, which, over 6 reps is still going to make a difference.
Yeah. I cannot do
What
that.
is he giggling at?
I think he was talking to somebody over there. All right.
So that was actually a faster
and then
round.
This was a mistake, and he realized it, and then he had to run back, and then he realized he was running to the wrong spot. And over here. So know your movement standards.
Yeah. That is one, like in a competition, if you're on a team at a sanctional or maybe a regionals, if that comes back out, you cannot do that because that's going to cost you first place going to 5th place or something. There's going to be a lot of teams that are bunched up.
Yeah.
And it's so different than an individual workout. Like there's so much more you have to be aware of with those kind of things. It's so easy to mess up if you're not paying attention.
But you live and learn.
Yep. What if you are paying attention and you still mess it up? Because that happens to me a lot.
Yeah, you're actually on the screen not paying attention to the person you're supposed to be judging.
No, I'm not judging.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not judging him.
You're just staring.
I'm just sleeping while holding the rig with my eyes open.
With a coffee in your hand. Caffeine's working well.
Yep. All right, Jackson finishing up round 2.
Another really good transition.
Yep.
That's what coming off the bar right into the handstand walk, I think that's something you have to do if you want to be competitive.
This shows, Bree is a great handstand walker, and she just happens to be in the background, ex-cheerleader. But you can see that sometimes having like broken body lines and just figuring out how to fall fast, like that can make a big difference. Even though it's only 15 feet of walking and times 3 each round, you can save a pretty good amount of time by having that kind of ability to almost be like falling forward as you're walking on your hands.
Yeah, I actually think with the shorter walk, so like if it's a 10-foot walk, which we've done in a couple throwdowns, or 15 feet, it allows me to almost have that, it's almost an uncontrolled fall, but you can get away with it because it's so short, whereas if you're doing like a 50-foot unbroken segment, it's much harder to just fall forward the entire
especially
time.
if you have to do it unbroken.
Right.
Yeah.
So definitely more opportunity for risks here.
Yeah, his transitions have been great. Good speed all the way through. And now we're going into round 5.
Oh, he
he
did
made
it
the mistake.
Jackson, what are you doing?
Too excited.
Yeah.
But I mean, you think about it, so that's 2 times. That one was a little bit faster, but probably 10 to 12 seconds on the first one, 5 seconds there. That's 15 seconds plus over the course of 2 rounds in the workout. That is a lot of time.
Yeah, major difference. Like if you're talking male-male pairs in this workout specifically, everything's going to be unbroken. There's not going to be any like major
For the top
bottlenecks.
teams.
Yeah, for the top teams. So there's not going to be any major bottlenecks, which means your speed and execution on all those little transitions and details probably be a big separator for people.
This combo, by the way, if you haven't done something like this before, actually is challenging because
Man.
going from the handstand walk, burpee box jump to bar muscle
They're
up.
making this workout look really easy,
Yeah.
and it was not easy. Like, it was
No.
very hard. Coming off the bar muscle ups into the handstand walk for me was very difficult.
Yeah, especially by that 3rd round. I feel like that's where you start feeling it for sure. Still great speed by Jackson.
Yeah, he's got the controlled fall going on
Yeah,
there.
that's why I
All right,
started
so
laughing.
Jackson's done. Ben, last round here. Handstand walk still looks pretty
Whoa.
good. Camera.
His new blonde hair really makes his tan pop.
It's great.
And his burpee speed here
Yeah,
is
he's-
solid.
This
He's
is something that
flying.
everybody can kind of play around with. You see that as soon as he's landing, he's already kind of hunched over. That's a really good way to speed up your burpees.
Yeah, this was really, really sound execution from him. Jackson, a couple errors on your part.
Just blame him for everything.
All right, but he's coming in and see him
Yeah, there
moving
you go,
his,
making the
he's moving his
transition.
rower over.
Being aware.
Ish.
Yeah, his judge probably told him to.
You still
Sorry, Jackson.
Look good. I think Ben could probably be a little bit longer, a little bit tighter in his bar muscle up. But as you fatigue and work out like this, it's hard to keep the technical proficiencies that you need.
Yeah, that's kind of the one movement that Ben's doing here that maybe the cycle speed could be a little bit faster if you compared him to somebody like Noah or somebody with really fast bar muscle up turnover.
So now it goes into chest to bars. This is another movement. It's only 12, but some things you could think about, just like widening your hands, tightening your kip. Those are things. Push yourself down off the bar when your chest hits. I know that may sound crazy, but those are ways that you can speed it up for sure.
And this is a movement that you can really push the speed on if you have a good overhead position.
Yeah, you can see Jake in the background who has a great overhead position and how fast he's able to cycle these. As soon as his knee touches, he's stepping into the next one. Jackson's struggling a little bit with it, but
it's almost like the balance, needing that kind of 2 feet together stabilization before moving through. If you can kind of do the swing through step, it makes it a lot faster.
For sure. It's something that I definitely would recommend everyone work on, because now you're seeing that, like the overhead lunge in the Open a couple years ago was 200 feet. And so there's a lot of opportunity for separation, I guess I should say.
That transition probably could have been a little bit faster. Get the hands on the handle before you have both your feet on and just start moving.
You can kind of see, I don't know the paces, but you could see the intensity of Jake's pull in the back. He's kind of sprinting and looking over at Jackson, whereas Jackson's a little bit more smooth here. When you only have 2 rounds of this, and it's 20 cals per row, right? For the males? 20 cals, you almost have to be at a near sprint pace. Not a full sprint probably in the first one, but I would envision that most people are probably over 1,700, 1,800 if they're pushing the pace to try to win this as a male-male pair.
Yeah, top male teams will have to be definitely over 1,600. You're going to see some bigger guys like 1,800 to 1,900.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is the first 3 rounds of the workout, the turnover is really fast. This one, you actually get a longer break. So you just got to sell out in the first round and trust that you're going to get a long enough break to be able to sell again in the second round.
And by the time you get back to your second row, it's the last thing that you have to do. So you can kind of just sell out and
doesn't
completely
matter
dump
anymore.
it. Yeah.
Just go.
Yeah, no more pacing required.
Yeah.
The other thing to think about too is getting your first cal as quickly as possible. I think the challenge for most people is going to be that transition onto the rower, and then they kind of pull at 600, 800, 1,000, and then they get to their working pace. Get to it as quickly as you can, and that will save some time.
I am probably one of the most skilled athletes of all time at having slow accelerated rows. I get to my working pace in 10 pulls.
This lunge speed is really good.
Yeah, solid.
If you can maintain that, that's going to save a lot of time. I was able to do that for one length, and then I started falling over. So I had to bring my feet together.
Solid work. That
really
was
good.
Very good speed. So far,
good transition.
We haven't had much to make fun of Ben about, other than maybe his hair. But I don't have any, so
Would you go blonde, though, if you could?
probably not. I think I
you would
maybe
look
had
great.
frosted tips at one point.
Oh my goodness, we need to pull that
That
picture
was
up.
cool. That was a cool thing when I was in high school. Now it's probably not. NSYNC set the standard.
You look just like those guys.
I basically fit in with them. I'm gonna start a boy band. Me, Ben, Travis, and Noah. That'll be my boy band.
You guys would sell 0 albums.
All right, let's see what pace he's holding here. Yeah, so 1892.
Now, to keep in mind, though, Ben had a much longer break after the 3 rounds because Jackson went first. So it's going to be easier for the second person. But if you are the first person, prepare yourself for the first round to almost be worse than the second round of this.
So now Jackson has the benefit of having a longer break. So we'll see if your defense of him holds up.
And that's something to think about, too, when you're creating your order. There is some strategy for, if you go first, you are going to have less rest going into that next round. So if somebody struggles more with toes to bar or struggles more on the row or chest to bar or struggles more on the rower, then you might want to have them go second.
So you can see he's still hurting. That was probably 12-second break before he picked up the dumbbell. With only 1 dumbbell, you have to transition quickly here if you want to be competitive.
Yeah, and there's no standard on which arm you hold, so you can just basically keep it overhead and do the whole 45 feet. Or you could switch it. But, I mean, that's just 3 seconds. I don't know if it's necessary to do that. Just kind of depends on how messed up your arms are at that point holding it overhead.
Yeah, and one of the things to think about is usually you have one arm that's a little bit more comfortable, you can breathe better, and you can go faster. I would just use that for this.
So he finished at 10:06. Let's see when his first pull is. 10:16 essentially. So 10 seconds to pull, and then these are kind of relaxed pulls. Hopefully Chris gets back out with the camera and shows kind of what pace we're at. But you can see like stroke rate of Jake in the background was higher, and it looked like the intensity of the pulls is faster as well, but no way to know that unless we see the monitor.
This should be Jackson's sprint finish to let Ben get into his sprint
You
finish.
can tell he's picked it up though. Big pulls, a little bit faster.
He's got the pain face.
Yeah. I wonder, is that drama for the camera?
That's what you
For
do.
dramatic effect.
1750.
There you go.
Over
1820.
Nice. Yeah, you had his back and you
Nice.
were right, Brandon.
Good job, Jackson. I'm proud of you. Yeah, it's good.
And he's falling off. Don't fall off.
That last row is going to be huge for teams, so really just sell out there. It's the last thing that you're doing.
All right, and then this is the last round. Ben's wrapping it up. 12, 45, 20.
So same thing. I mean, his bar muscle-ups were a little loose. I would say that his chest to bars are probably a little less efficient than they should be. Yeah, obviously now he's going to a pseudo kit.
That was good to hang on though,
For
like
sure.
to have the thought to not come off the bar.
But if I'm coaching him, I'm looking at that and saying, all right, this is something that we need to work on in workouts like this.
Yeah, just I think the fluidity. It doesn't seem like his strength or gymnastics capacity. It's almost just like the movement itself gets a little bit deteriorated, maybe in the midline or, just coordinating it.
Still really good lunges. That's good speed. Being able to step through. Oh, I said it, and then he did it. Good finish.
Still
Let's see what he
solid,
can
though.
do here.
All right, and then
Jackson
this is
set the rower for him. What a good teammate.
All right, and then here's the
Go,
finale.
pull. There you go.
All right, this is good. We get a good view of how many pulls. 400, 600, somewhere around 1,000, 1,200, 1,300, 14, 15. So he's, let's say 1,600 is working his pace, is almost 8 to 9 pulls to get it up there. That's where the real separation is with an elite rower in the sport is they might not be at this any much higher than this pace, but they'll get to this pace in like 3 or 4 pulls, which will be a major, major separator in terms of total time. You don't realize if you're doing 30 strokes a minute and you take 10 strokes to get there, that's like 20 seconds of time that's just like slow calorie accumulation.
Right.
So it makes a big difference.
Really good finish, though. I mean, he's held over 1,700 for the rest of it.
Bam.
48 seconds to do that.
Nice job, guys.
12:47. Good job.
Good flop.
He, I think, threw up after this workout, so.
He was carrying a bucket around on Sunday.
Threw up all weekend.
Well, he just said, this is my puke bucket. I'm like, okay.
All right, Project Pat, you know what to do.
It's a wrap, you know what I'm saying? Your boy Project Patar in this thing, man. Hey, look, man, thank y'all for watching Training Think Tank's YouTube channel. Y'all hit that motherfucking subscribe button, you know what I'm saying? So y'all go ahead, man. Thank y'all for watching the channel, you know what I'm saying? Hit that motherfucking subscribe button, let it be known, what it be known, what it be known, you know what I'm saying? Patar.